Ladies and gentlemen, the Near Fall Network proudly brings to you the modern-day Micah Raja, the guru of grappling gab, the one, the only Shooter!
Say hello to the ball guy, and welcome to another episode of Drive-By with Shooter. As always, thanks for stopping in and checking out what I do. And as always, as of lately, welcome to Drive-By, none other than the near-fall narcissist himself, the king of nerds. What's up, Mike?
What was that? As always with Garth, like I'm your little butt boy or something. I love Wayne.
Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth.
Well, I guess we're going to open up this show with probably the topic that every single wrestling podcast is talking about this week, and that is the return of Daniel Bryan to the flippin' wrestling world.
Literally every podcast
every. And with all due respect, like, it probably should be talked about by every podcast that is a topical wrestling podcast. Wouldn't you agree?
It's the biggest news to big news in quite a while.
And the funny thing, Mike, you and I have discussed this before. We've talked about our, I guess, misgivings about him coming back to the ring, about the danger of him coming back to the ring, and I believe you even once said, you know, if Bree's okay with it, then I guess we should be okay with it, which I kind of was like, yeah, it's a pretty fair point. Somehow, the fact that it's WWE and that they were so adamant in him not returning, and now they are the ones that cleared him, I'm totally cool with this, and I'm pretty much all about it.
Yeah, because the prior discussion was Ring of Honor or New Japan.
Right.
This is... Hell yeah, I'm 100%. There's no misgivings. There's no, maybe. There's none of that. 100%. Let's do this. I'm 100% in for this, man. Yes.
And that, all that being said, like, don't get me wrong, watching SmackDown, I was still kind of like, when I saw some things being done. However, it was so awesome to see Daniel Bryan in action again. I want to, like, kind of just go over, I know you talked about it a little bit on your SmackDown review, and you said, we'll talk about this on Drive-By, and hell yes, we will. I want to go over kind of everything, every aspect of this. So, like, even starting with the way they frame this, and this is me, and probably you, I'm pretty sure you're going to be on board with this. I say this all the time. We have to give WWE credit when they do something right, and that almost never happens in the IWC. Wrestling fans are harsh about everything they hate and as vocal as they can be, but they don't always give credit when credit's due, and this is something that deserves credit. Starting with the video package, they open up kind of reminding fans of Daniel Bryan's journey all the way up to his retirement, and the bitterness, like, I don't want to say the bitterness of Bryan, but the negative side of the fact that this man was losing something that he loved, and it's being taken away from him before it's really time. And this video package was done very well. We got to see the retirement speech, and then we get this amazing promo from Daniel Bryan. Like, what did you think of that when it was going on?
As it was initially starting up, I was just like, oh, they're going to kill this. Because they always kill moments like this. They know how to give you the heart.
Yeah.
They do. Like, there's a lot that they don't give us that we complain about, but man, come on, guys. They know how to give us the heart when you need it. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I started to get choked up. Like, I'm watching this and I'm starting to get, like, choked up watching it. Like,
I am man enough to admit.
The dude hasn't even come out yet. I'm just watching the promo videos with him, his retirement speech, and then all the tweets about he's back, and I'm getting choked up watching this, man. Like, this is wrestling at its best. This is when wrestling is at its best, it rarely involves actual wrestling.
You know what? You're 100% right, because the wrestlers, the good wrestlers, and I'm not disparaging anyone, but the guys and girls who can perform in a ring will perform in a ring, and that will carry over almost regardless of the limitations that are put on them. But when the stories are there, and I mean, this is a real story. This is real life shit. And Daniel Bryan is such a likable guy in real life. I mean, he's on the Total Divas show, the Total Bellas show. So wrestling fans already, even though they've already liked him for other reasons, now have even more reasons to like him as a human being. And this is real shit. This is real life. And every single person can relate to this. Even if they've never found that thing in their life that they absolutely love, every person could relate to having something that you love, having it taken away for whatever reason, and then being able to come back to it. I mean, it's amazing.
Without risking getting too deep on a wrestling podcast, even if you don't have something like that in your life, I think that you can identify with it and at least feel a longing or a want for something like that in your life.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't think... And we don't even necessarily have to be talking about something that you do as a job and to get paid for, right. But I mean, that makes it even more of a big deal.
We're talking like necessarily about a job or something you
right.
paid for. Like,
it's a passion.
Like, yeah, man, like if I didn't get to do this, what we do
right.
at the Nearfall Network, I would, I would be sad. I'm passionate about what we do, and if I didn't get to do this, we're not getting paid for this. This actually costs us money. So
it truly does. Like, time and money.
Like, and if I didn't get to do it, I would be upset. Like, I know our compadre, the high fiver, the high five and MFer. I know he's busy right now getting that degree.
Right.
And he, we talked the other night, and he's upset that he can't do this because he's passionate about it. So, yeah, we understand, but can you imagine doing it at that level?
Yeah, right. And then, like we said, having it snatched away at a way too early, and now being able to come back. But I also want to just keep going with this whole thing. He then, of course, at the end of his speech, he made the statement of, I don't know when I'm going to be back. Kind of leered at the WrestleMania sign.
Are we just skipping over the speech?
Well, no, go ahead. Go into it, man.
Well, let's talk about the speech.
Okay.
I was choked up at the opening promo. The speech broke the floodgates. I cried watching this. And I snuck away. I was on the phone with AJ, the high five MFer, and I got off the phone with him, and I was upstairs where I record at. That's where I was talking on the phone, and where I'm currently at. And I was like, man, I'm gonna see if they open with Daniel Bryan. It was right as SmackDown was opening up when we were getting off the phone. And of course they did. So I watched that, and I get choked up, and then I just get so caught up. I was supposed to go back downstairs and watch, me and my wife, we had TV night, and next thing I know, it's like 20 after 8, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here bawling in my chair, just bawling, watching this dude talk. The only negative about it was, and I'm sure he doesn't listen to us, but I really wish he did. Asshole in the front row sitting at the corner on your fucking telephone.
I heard you talk about this, and I think I might have missed it.
Over. Go back and watch. He's sitting right at the corner where the entranceway starts to split off into the square around the ring.
Mm-hmm.
He's a black guy, white t-shirt, and he spends the whole fucking promo. Like, guys, you're gonna get some language right here. I'm gonna give you a heads up because, like, I feel a real type of way about this. Okay.
Disclaimer.
Like,
it's
disclaimer
getting nasty
right now. Like, I feel a real fucking type of way about this. Okay. Like, this was an all-time great moment in wrestling. And aside from an all-time great moment in wrestling, this wasn't like an all-time great moment in wrestling where, like, Edge speared Jeff Hardy off the fucking ladder. This was an all-time great moment where, like, someone poured their fucking heart and soul out to you. Your fucking heart and soul. You saw a real moment in wrestling.
A real moment.
Broke through the wall, and you saw a real moment where a man poured his love for this business out to you, and you spent the whole time on your fucking phone waiting for your buddy to tell you when you were on screen so you could do John Cena don't see me's at the camera and get yourself over. You little fuckstick. You right there, sir, are what's wrong with wrestling fans. What is 100% wrong with wrestling fans today. All you want to do is go to shows and get yourself over. Do your own stupid chant. You, sir, were in the building for an all-time great moment, a moment we're going to talk about for years and decades to come. And you're going to be the dickhead that was on his phone for it. And rant.
And a well-deserved rant. Like I said, I think I know which guy you were talking about, because I did notice someone, but I didn't pay that much attention to them. That being said, you're 100% correct. You know, and this could be a whole nother rant, and I don't want to spin it off too much, but it goes to the fact of musicians complaining about people being on their phone, the band Tool banning cell phones from their shows. It's because nobody lives in the moment anymore, but at that point they're like recording. But when you're like on the phone, like talking to someone, that's even more disrespectful. And it's one thing if it's an emergency and hey, you gotta go, whatever, I get that. But when you're literally doing it so you can get yourself over, which is exactly what this dude was doing, it's just it becomes so disrespectful.
You could read his lips. You could see his lips say, "Am I on now? Am I?" Just stuff like that, man. Like, you see, he knew. He was a great moment in the history of this business, and you're on your phone trying to get yourself over. When really now all you're going to be remembered as is the asshole on the phone.
Yep, and that's all he deserves to be remembered as, because that was a heartfelt promo.
You got your internet IWC fame, the asshole on the phone.
Yeah. If we made t-shirts, that would be a t-shirt. And speaking of t-shirts, I know a guy that'll sell you one. 1 for $25 or 2 for $55. Check it out. Anyway,
it's a deal.
It's a steal. It's a steal of a deal.
Someone say, good t-shirt.
Oh, dear God. Don't be the guy to mess this moment up, too.
You did this to us.
I apologize.
You knew this was...
It's always on the forefront, man.
You can get 6 for 112 or 7 for 114 in a night with your wife. You guys doing some WrestleMania productions? No, man, we are not doing any.
Not right now.
It's getting close to Mania.
It is.
Are you gonna, guys? I'd like to do some prediction. No, man.
No.
Get out of here.
Not yet.
Go now, dude. You cannot mention T-shirts.
Yeah, and just
think, are T-shirts.
And we're getting so close to the T-shirt before the T-shirt too, man. I mean,
it's not T-shirt time.
It's coming. It's coming.
It is the shirt before the shirt.
The shirt before the shirt. Okay, anyway. Heartfelt promo. Now we're the guys talking about damn T-shirts during this. Anyway. Awesome promo.
Shut
up. Anyway. I too was emotional. It was emotional in a good way. You feel for this man. He's getting to relive his dream. I'm totally good with it. Here's the thing. And I just recently read this before we record, Mike, so I don't even know if you know this, but it's been revealed that Daniel Bryan must undergo impact tests and neurological evaluations, with the WWE doctor after each match. That's part of the stipulations of his returning, at least until the, I believe, Dr. Maroon, who is WWE's head doctor, is accepting these reports and saying, okay, we no longer need to do this. I'd be okay with if that was a stipulation that he did it all the time for his full time in wrestling. I don't think that's a bad thing to check him out and make sure everything's still going as planned, as, you know, these other specialists have suggested that he is good. I don't think it's bad to be overcautious, and hearing that makes me feel even better about the fact that he is returning to the ring.
Yeah, I'm okay with this 100%. I'm 100% in. Let's do it for the entire, just like you said. I'm okay with them doing it forever.
And it's funny because, like, I've actually seen people like, well, WWE's just, they're covering their own ass. Yeah, okay. Which is in turn covering his ass. Like, this isn't a bad thing. You cannot frame this as a bad thing, so just don't do it. It's a good thing all around. But that being said, you know, we got this promo in the beginning, and then, and this is WWE's credit, I hate, you know, again, we can't not give them credit when they do good things. We get a second, I have in my notes here, Mike, a second fire promo from Daniel Bryan, when he's in the ring with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and he's admitting, I was living vicariously through you. Shane was right. I've known you guys forever. We're buddies, we're pals, we came from the same place, and you were still doing this, and I was living through you, and maybe I got carried away, but you guys got carried away, and you're fired. He even frames it into real life situations where he was let go by the company, and he's saying, look, this isn't goodbye, it's just we'll see you later. It was brilliant. Brilliant. And of course, we all knew what was going to happen at that point, and he gets attacked. So we start the show with the awesome, amazing, heartfelt promo and return of Daniel Bryan. We get another awesome promo involving real life situations that are encompassing his enemies at this point in time, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who then attack him for, like, what, the best heel heat you could ask for. And we end the show with the returning Daniel Bryan on a damn backboard going out of the arena. How amazing.
Heat. What do they call this? X-Pac heat?
X-Pac, nuclear heat.
X-Pac heat. This is heat. Man, what a great way. Because, like, you know, there's still that... Okay, I look at this like two ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's two sides of me. There's the king of nerds that is here right now. And then there's Mike. And the king of nerds, for the sake of what we do, a lot of times has to be like that guy, right?
Right.
And the that guy part of me is like, and I don't mean like that guy, but like I'm looking at this from like an opposite side. And this isn't even like a negative thing, but what they did was they showed us, hey, this dude can take a fucking bump, right? This dude can take a solid bump.
Yeah, so they like, definitely put that out on the table. Yeah, I mean, so they didn't even like...
No questions. No questions.
To steal a a Bruce Pritchard, they didn't fiddle fuck around.
Yeah.
They went right to it.
Yeah. So the smart internet, like, Mark part of me is like, okay, they did that. But then there's like Mike, who's like the wrestling fan, who's still like, oh no, Daniel Bryan just came back from an injury. They can't powerbomb him on the ring apron.
I actually saw tweets that were like, I can't believe he just got cleared and got re-injured. And I saw other tweets that literally said, I can't believe WWE would lie to us that he's cleared to do a fake injury angle to show that he's not going to wrestle.
Oh man!
And I'm sitting there thinking,
the love of that,
like, which is awesome, but then it's all
they
like
be when he actually wrestles.
Right. Like, on one hand, I'm like, that's so awesome. On the other hand, I'm like, man, you can't really be that dumb. Like, they wouldn't actually attack him if he wasn't cleared. But again, that's like the like ignorance is bliss thing, and I wish I was in that situation sometimes. But yeah, the fan side is just like, no. But then at the same time, it's rejoicing because how amazing was the bookend of that episode of SmackDown?
It was outstanding, and they also gave us the things we want: the running drop kicks, the yes kicks, that Daniel Bryan get fired up face, that look. Man, don't you miss that look where he's just like fired up. Oh,
and that low German suplex. I don't know what the proper term is, but oh man,
moves.
Yes,
because I was just, first of all, when he took the initial clothesline, I got choked up because I was like, he's taking a bump.
Right.
And then when he started throwing moves, I started crying again, man. I only cry for like 3 things in this world, alright? My niece and how adorable and wonderful she is.
That's fair.
Pro wrestling.
Also fair. I don't care what anyone says.
And comic book movies.
Also fair.
There's the only 3 things in the world I cry for. So, and they all make me cry a lot. It's weird. So, man, he started throwing those running drop kicks. I was just like bawling again. My wife's looking at me on the couch getting ready in the morning. I'm watching this in the morning while she's getting ready for work. I'm drinking my coffee, and she's just looking at me like, You're so gross.
What is wrong with you? You're a grown man.
You're gross. Which is funny because we were just watching an episode of Modern Family the other night, and the couple Claire and Phil in there, if anyone listens familiar with the show.
Quality show.
Phil,
if you don't watch it, you should watch it.
Phil is a real goofball nerd guy, but he's like a really good guy. And his wife Claire is delicious. She is something else, and she's a real go-getter. So he's constantly just doing like nerdy, not sexy things, and so he's wearing these slippers that are bear slippers, and she's like, I guess every guy has like that one article of clothing that their wife thinks that makes their wife never want to have sex with them again. And I asked my wife,
I had one of those.
I said, do I have an article of clothing like that? And she said, no, but when you geek out on wrestling, I feel that way.
Wow, that's harsh.
Yeah. The few times she's seen it, it's never been good. So, so I'm all in. I started crying with it. It was beautiful, man. It really was. It was beautiful. I loved the powerbomb on the apron. I was just like, yes, he's taking hard bumps too, guys. Oh my gosh, it's happening.
Yeah, and like I say, they didn't hold it back. They showed us. I think this was literally a way to show the fans that they are all in. And no pun intended. Obviously, somebody will not be all in, like the speculation was, and that's one Daniel Bryan. And that's at the All In show because I don't think he's going to be going anywhere. Not with this. You see what I did there? I mean, this guy, he wants to work for WWE, and his wife works for WWE, and they get exposure for everything that his wife does through WWE. This cat ain't going anywhere now that he can wrestle. So, all us wrestling fans, all the Smark fans, everyone's prayers have been answered. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that Daniel Bryan remains healthy and can do this for a long, long time in the WWE universe.
Agreed. We gonna do a rundown of some dream matches real fast?
Yeah, that being said, let's talk about this, man. How many possibilities does this situation open up? We don't have to speculate, spend a long time talking about what this means per match.
Let's just hit the obvious ones.
Who do you want to see? Because I know let me give you my top 5 and then you give me your top 5. My top 5, the obvious. Shinsuke Nakamura, Daniel Bryan. I believe, I could be incorrect, I believe that Daniel Bryan being in the WWE was one of the damn reasons Nakamura came over here.
He said that was.
So that's number 1. Number 2. AJ Styles. How could you not want that match?
Obviously.
Number 3, and these are not necessarily in numerical order, but Finn Balor. How could you not want that match? Number 4, for me, I'm going to say, a lot of people say Brock. I don't even know if I necessarily care about that, but I would love to see him against a monster, maybe a Braun Strowman. But this is the hidden gem that I think. Could you imagine, and I've heard this pitched, I'll give credit, I heard it on a Wade Keller podcast. I don't want to steal someone's idea, but when I heard this, I thought, dear Lord, the money in this match. I'm going to paint this picture for you, Mike. WrestleMania 35. Our babyface Daniel Bryan against the heel Universal Champion Roman Reigns.
Oh, wow.
Could you imagine if they went full heel with Roman and put Daniel Bryan as the conquering hero at Wrestle Freakin' Mania?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Did that just top all the other matches?
Just the storyline. Because I didn't even think storyline. I was like, who do I want to see him in the ring with? The storyline of, like, the Yes Movement taking on Roman Reigns as a heel. Oh.
Vince's guy, Vince's boy, everyone that knows it's not Brock, it's Roman. Everyone that knows they don't want Roman as a champ because of that. And you put in the perfect hero, the perfect babyface. Now, Roman has to be heel for this to have that effect. But you want to talk about a reaction. I actually saw our good buddy JD from New York tweeting about that's an effing reaction, Roman. That's what it is. Which I think any reaction, if the crowd's quiet, then you're dead. You're dead in the water.
Reaction.
Any reaction's a good reaction. So the fact that Roman Reigns gets a big boo at the beginning and then it turns to cheers over the course of him coming out, I'm okay with that. That's a good reaction. But just picture the amount of people who, like, look at an arena. Find me one person who's not chanting yes when Daniel Bryan comes out. Look at an arena. Tell me one person that isn't reacting, negative or positive, but isn't reacting when Roman Reigns comes out. You can't. So imagine those forces going against each other. And if you turn Roman heel and you put him against Daniel Bryan, you're going to have a full heel reaction for Reigns and a full baby reaction for Bryan. And it would literally blow the roof off of, well, they're going to be in an outside stadium, so there won't be a roof. But if there was, that damn roof would be gone.
That's a great idea. That makes my top 5 sound stupid.
Let's book it. No. Give me your top 5. And I had to elaborate on that because it just sounded odd, but it makes so much sense. Almost more sense than any of the other ones I mentioned.
To me, the obvious ones right out of the gate are Shinsuke and AJ Styles. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Right, 100% right out the gate. I considered Finn Balor, but I think the better matches that I would rather see, even though, we've kind of seen these, but you have to go look for them. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
Yes. They're also on the list, but yes, 100%.
And my number one that I want to see.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
As a heel.
Can I predict it? Can I predict it?
I want that. I'm going to let you predict it, but I want to explain myself. I want them to be the heel, and I want Dean O'Brien to go after that. Go ahead. Who do you think?
You're saying heel Seth Rollins?
Yes.
God, I'm good.
I want heel Seth Rollins and babyface Daniel Bryan. And I want it at, like, fucking SummerSlam. Don't give it to me at, like, some bullshit. I want it at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. We could probably do a top 25 if we're being completely honest. There's stories there and just match quality there that would just be unreal. And I just literally, for not only for the health of the man, because he first and foremost is a husband and a father, and I want him to be perfectly healthy. I want this to work out good for everybody. But the selfish part of me is I want to see these matches, and I want to see them in all their glory with him able to wrestle at his top performance level of what he can physically do now.
Agreed.
It's an exciting time in pro wrestling, guys. We got Daniel Bryan back on Tuesday, and on Monday we got to be witness to the Great War, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, and welcome to the Ultimate Deletion. Okay, not really, because that already happened, and it was pretty flippin' awesome in my opinion. I don't know how you felt about it, Mike, but I thought there was so many things that they did right, and we talked about it. We said, look, a couple weeks ago we talked about it. We said we hope that this has the same feel, but with a little bit of WWE tweaks to take it to the next level, and there's always concern with that. But damn if they didn't, in my opinion, hit it right out of the flipping park and do exactly what they needed to do to take it to the next level.
Full disclosure. I have not seen this yet.
Oh, dear Lord.
Look,
somebody didn't do their homework.
I usually, okay. Let me tell you a little bit about my week, guys. This is my normal weekly schedule. I usually don't have time to watch Raw until like Friday. Now that I'm doing this regularly, and we record on Thursday,
officially, semi-officially.
Thursdays, I'm reworking my schedule so that I can get Raw watched. I'm gonna change some things around so that Raw can get watched on, prior to this. so bear with me. We got some growing pains. But, yeah, I actually have not got a chance to watch this yet. I wish that
Jesus,
I could have.
but, the show's over. Cancel it. We're done recording.
Done. Throw
done.
it away.
We're done.
This is horse shit.
I'm going to call the Radiant and see if he can fill in.
Okay. I didn't watch the original one, but I did talk about it like I'd seen it.
Seems like a logical thing. Radiant, I do have a question for you. Did you
yes, I am a tool bag.
Well, no, we already know that. Did you like the 9 elephants they incorporated into the wrestling ring for the final deletion?
The 9 elephants were...
And the walrus that was in the Lake and Reincarnation. You saw that, right?
I did see the 9 elephants and the walrus.
Yeah,
it was,
I thought so.
An amazing show.
That was your thing, right?
Match. It was my favorite part of it.
I figured. Now, can you get out of the recording room and put Mike back in there?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Welcome back. Anyway, okay, so then I'll give you some overview. They focused on the locations. Vanguard 1 was in this. They did... Let me rewind. This was the main event, which tells me something. I don't know if it tells you something. I've heard a lot of speculation, and we'll get into that about how it was handled on the announce team. But this was the closer of Raw. So to me, I guess you could look at it two ways. Either it's the last thing on, and no one's going to stick around to watch it if they weren't interested, or it's the last thing on, so obviously they thought it was a big deal. And I don't know. You watch it, Mike, you be the judge. But this literally mimicked the TNA version, which I don't watch TNA, but I did watch the final deletion.
Isn't that pretty much how it was for everyone?
I think pretty much. And it took, in my opinion, everything that was good about that, kept that, and then just added little touches. The night started out a 3-hour Raw. You saw little things leading up to it. You saw some promos that were online earlier in the week, but, Matt kind of talking about the Hardy compound. Matt talking to his giraffe who is has the soul of George Washington in him. Different quirky, broken, woken Matt things, which was great. And before we actually got to the match, there were little things leading up to it. There was Rebby and I'm drawing a
I saw the
Maxwell
piano playing.
Okay. Did you see the one where she's sitting there and Senior Benjamin is there and Maxwell's there and Vanguard 1's on the piano?
Yeah, and that's the one I saw where she's playing the piano. Yeah, they're all sitting there.
So we had that little promo, so we got the whole gang involved, which is awesome. And then we get to the actual... We get these little things throughout the night, and we get to the actual ultimate deletion, my apologies, and we get Bray Wyatt walking into the compound, we get him walking to the ring while Rebby Hardy is playing his theme on the piano, and it was flipping awesome. So, we get all this, we get Vanguard 1, we get new graphics for Vanguard 1 throughout this match that are moving through the compound, and they felt it necessary to put up on the screen in a Vanguard 1-esque visual logo where they were at. So for fans who didn't necessarily know, you knew that this was the Lake of Reincarnation. This was the Dome of Deletion. Like, they put things up to make it seem like it mattered, which I think was that little WWE touch that just took it to the next level. It wasn't just two guys running around in someone's backyard. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
We get Vanguard 1 releasing Boomstick Protocol, which was fireworks. How great is that? And that pops on the screen. It was just a lot of awesome things, a lot of cheesy things that were done purposely cheesy, but done in such a good way that you sit back, you laugh, and you enjoyed this thing for exactly what it was. And let me, spoiler alert, King, Bray Wyatt gets deleted. Not only does he get deleted, but he gets thrown in the Lake of Reincarnation, and when Senior Benjamin is asked to retrieve the carcass of Bray Wyatt, he is no longer there, and Matt is ecstatic because the deletion has been complete. And where the hell do we go with Bray Wyatt from here?
Nowhere to go but up, huh?
I mean, pretty much. And it's sad to say, I love Bray Wyatt, I love the character, but I don't want to say it's a dead character, but the current state of that character is definitely dead. And it needed something, and this could be it. I hope this is it.
I had a Bray Wyatt action figure in my hand at Walmart the other day. I was gonna get it, and I was like, I don't get toys of fucking losers, and I put it back in the lot.
Wow, that was harsh.
Wasn't it though, man? But that's really how I felt. I was just like, I was like, I need a Bray Wyatt. I do need one too. I've got one, but it's like, from when he debuted. I need a Bray Wyatt, and I was just like, couldn't do it, man. I'm that not interested. And this is cool. This makes me interested.
I agree. And I think,
I think there's full disclosure, I have an Enzo action figure. I have a Jim Neidhart action figure. So I've got some losers up there.
Wow. Well, that just took a spin for something different I wasn't expecting. So
that
does
dude
Bray
lost
Wyatt,
a lot of singles matches.
He did. He really did. And, we say wins and losses don't matter, but let's be honest. They matter at least to a degree when you lose way more than you ever win. So I'm all about a change. Do I want a completely different character? I don't know. I want something similar. I want something, maybe a broken Bray. Like, we can use that word now, right? Because he owns this whole universe. So even though he's woken Matt Hardy, maybe we can break Bray, and then woken is the next step. I don't know. This is Matt's world. I'm just, watching it. I don't live in it. I'm just watching it. But I like it, and I love the fact that WWE and Vince McMahon, I don't want to say allowed this to happen, but they allowed this to happen. There was no reason for them to do this unless they thought that it could be done and done properly. There's a lot of talk because it was introduced by the announcers, and Michael Cole actually apologized for what we were about to see. And then as Graves kind of shot him a look and said, "What are you talking about?" And I believe he called him an obsolete mule. I could be wrong, but of course Graves is sticking up for it because that's what Graves does. And Cole was kind of saying, "I'm sorry." He did flat out say, "I'm sorry." I don't know. A lot of people speculated. Cole was kind of the voice of Vince McMahon, so maybe Vince hated it. I don't know. I don't feel that if Vince hated it that much, that he would have let it go on as the main event. He obviously saw it before the show went on the air, so I'm sure that he could have changed format if he didn't have confidence in it. And I feel like maybe Cole said that just to lower everybody's expectations, because this was a gamble either way. This is something that was loved by Smarks and was a gamble. So maybe we lower their expectations by saying something like that, subconsciously lowering their expectations. And then when it goes off the way that it did, which I think you will enjoy once you watch it, it's a hit. And it was the #1 trend on Twitter, for a long time on Monday night.
If it would have failed, they'd have never heard the end. Never would have heard the end of it. But
no, not at all. Not at all.
Monday and Tuesday would have been people complaining.
Yes.
Until the Daniel Bryan thing. That's when they would have heard the end of it. But it all worked out. So, if you can... Here's the thing with WWE. It's like you said. With some of this internet stuff, and this is going to be the first instance of this that we're really going to come across. There's going to be some things in the course of WWE acquiring everything. Everyone, I should say. Where there's going to be some internet-y things. And they kind of dabbled their fingers in it with the Bullet Club, but they can't really, They can't really.
Right.
But this was the first one where it's one of these internet things where that was loved by the IWC, and they can go all in with it, if that makes sense.
Hashtag all in.
Yeah, and you're right. They are in a weird spot because if you mess it up, you're gonna get just heckled to death for it.
Absolutely.
And the odds of nailing it are slim. But from what you've said and from what I'm hearing from everyone online, it does seem like they found that like sweet spot to really like make it their own and take it forward and make it better even.
I think so. I enjoyed it. I saw a great majority of positive feedback, except for my buddy JD. But, you know, that is what it is. I think overall, like I said, the internet enjoyed it, and I think this is something that we can really hope that they build on and build on properly. I think the changes they made were, like I said, improvements and not detracting from the original idea that it is Matt's broken universe. And I'm excited to see where this goes for all the characters involved. We got a Brother Nero cameo. I'm not sure if you were aware of that or not.
That showed up
yes.
Or not. I thought I saw a picture of it online.
It wasn't.
But I wanted to ask you.
It was just. Check. It was like it wasn't like having obviously a piece of cake. It was like taking a little bit of icing and the crumbs and be like, hey, that's pretty good. And so you'll see when you watch it. Okay. But it was there, and I mean overall.
Was he called Brother Nero?
Like it. Really didn't get into that. You'll just have to watch. Okay. I don't want to spoil everything for you. But the final say on this is just this. I'll leave it at this. WWE has tried different things, i.e. the House of Horrors match, i.e. the Wyatt's versus New Day on the Wyatt family property, and it did not go over at all with the fans. Some of them I enjoyed some of them, not because I thought they were great, but because, hey, we're trying new things, guys. We're gonna do this different. We're gonna do it outside the box. And the fans were like, yeah, we say we want you to do that stuff, but we really don't want you to do that stuff, so stop. And this is something that, again, they went outside the box, albeit into a box that somebody already gift wrapped, but they put extra bows and ribbons on it, and it worked out. And that gets me excited for, again, 2018 in wrestling. I'm just gonna say, holy shit.
Holy shit. I completely forgot about the Wyatts versus the New Day.
For good reason.
On the property there.
we got some cleaning up to do, guys. We're gonna come up. We're gonna have our cleanup hitters, which is still us, so you're stuck with us. We're gonna go over a few topics that we don't want to spend all day on, but we want to touch on. Hang tight. We'll be right back. All right, Mike, it is time. We're going to go over some things, not like a rapid fire comment, but just we want to touch on some things. I don't need a general overall reaction, just kind of, there's some news, man, that we just have to hit on, and something we talked about a little bit, we've gone over it, we've discussed it here and there, but man, did Johnny Bravo shit the bed.
Yeah, there's not even really much to talk about here anymore, is there?
Not really. I mean, This guy...
It was a whole lot of nothing.
Said he had all this information. He said Roman Reigns was guilty of using steroids, and I'm going to provide you that proof. And then he put out a video that had some screenshots of some trainers maybe possibly ordering stuff for aliases that he might have connections to that he doesn't have currently because supposedly the DEA has it and hasn't released it, and he has ways to match Roman Reigns to this, but he doesn't have them yet. Dude, like, you can't say that shit and then not provide information and be taken seriously. So now even if you do have the information, nobody cares anymore.
Yeah, you're full of shit. No one cares.
Nobody cares. Speaking of shitting the bed. Bro. I'm going to let you take the lead on this, but Podcast One, Vince Russo, they're not sleeping together anymore because Vince shit in the bed. What happened?
Apparently Vince Russo, in a flurry of retweets, he was retweeting tweets that had, I don't know, some hashtag or something or other that were promoting something or other. that he's affiliated with, I guess. So in this flurry of retweets, one of these tweets contained something derogatory about Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheets. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Anyway, about Ryan Satin's girlfriend. I don't know her. I'm sure she's a lovely girl. So I guess, Podcast One was made aware of this and decided to cut ties, although Russo has apologized today. This was the story coming from Russo, is that this is what had happened. What had happened was, you see, and so, it's hard to say. It's a believable story to me. I know we're Russo bashers here, but I can say in this instance, not even like bashers, we just don't like his bullshit, or his voice, or his opinion on
or his ideas,
everything.
Yes. Or the fact that he says bro like 17,000 times in anything that he talks about.
Yes. So,
which might be a slight exaggeration, but not that big of one.
Not that big of one, though, is it, though? No. So it's a believable story to me. I could see how, you just get going on retweets, especially a man of his age.
It is believable, and I think where this Ryan Satin part comes is he was basically saying that because of this tweet, at least this is what if I'm saying this wrong, you can correct me. This is how I took from what I read on Ryan Satin's Twitter, that basically because of this tweet that Russo sent out, like, his girlfriend was getting attacked by Russo fans. Like, actually threatened violence to by Russo fans.
Okay, see, that makes sense, because in one of his tweets that I read, where he like kind of was like telling the story and apologizing, he said, "Guys, she's a really nice girl. Please back off of her." Something. Well,
and I think it, and now this is starting to make more sense to me as we're talking about it. I think the original tweet that he might have got caught up in, then I think Ryan might have said something about it, and that is what infuriated the fans, and then he started saying like that Russo should be removed from Podcast One, and that made it even worse, and they started attacking his girlfriend and literally threatening her life, from what I've read. This is all hearsay. It's what I read on Satin's Twitter, so take it for what it is. But all that in mind, like, that's not cool at all. So, I mean, I guess if it was an accident, it was an accident. That doesn't make it right. Podcast One has a reputation, I guess. It's a business thing. I don't know. We're not sponsored by anyone, so we can say whatever the hell we want.
I do say, I frequently on my own solo shows talk about super weird and sexual things.
So, all that in mind, Russo, I guess, he shit the bed, and he got kicked out of Podcast One bed, and he'll be fine. For some reason, people hang on every word that he says, so he will be fine, but I just wanted to make sure we touch on that, because he's our favorite guy to talk about.
Yeah.
Right?
He's your favorite guy to talk about sometimes.
He's my favorite guy to just say.
Sometimes I think he is your favorite guy to talk about.
He will clearly be a breaking the fourth wall. He will clearly be a who says something dumb. Anyway, that's for the future. Let's talk about WrestleMania and the fact that it was all over the social media that AJ Styles was injured and was probably going to miss WrestleMania, which I thought was silly. I did think maybe he's slightly hurt and they're being cautious, which is pretty much what has come out. He's been cleared for his Mania match. He's more than likely not going to wrestle until WrestleMania, which I'm totally good with. What I would actually hope that they do is we turn this negative or slight negative into something good. And let's tell a backstory between these two. Let's put some footage from New Japan Pro Wrestling about the fact that these two main evented Wrestle Kingdom, and now they're going to do it in WrestleMania. It's the two biggest promotions in the world, the two biggest shows in the world. Let's make this a big deal. Who cares if you mention the name New Japan, right?
I mean, everybody already knows, huh?
Exactly.
I guess I see this kind of as you. Like, I see this as like a big positive. All right, we're going to be guaranteed that AJ is going to be healthy, right? That's
right.
Sweet. So now we've got a real opportunity to like really tell a story. And I guess, yeah, I'm cool with, like, that'd be sweet to me, like, if they mentioned the New Japan stuff and showed some footage. But I don't even necessarily need that, just a story. Other than, I'm gonna beat you at WrestleMania.
Knee to face.
Knee to face. I'm going to slowly get in the ring to help you not get beat up.
You need to have more confidence, AJ. You need to have more confidence. That was great. That was great. But yeah, so with all things considered, and let's keep fingers crossed that Nakamura stays healthy, the event, the match that everybody wants, which, dear God, this match card is getting insane, let's just be honest, is preserved, assuming nothing crazy happens to Nakamura, especially if they keep AJ out. It's going to happen. To steal a phrase from the great Chris Jericho, let's drink it in, man.
100% with you on this. 100% okay. With any Jericho quote also.
Well, you kind of have to be. The last thing I really want to talk about, and if you think of anything else that you want to play cleanup on, we will do it, but the whole Braun Strowman thing, Braun Strowman's going after the Raw Tag Team Championship. He has now been told he must have a partner, which we kind of all thought was going to happen. There's rumors all over the internet of who it could be. Everything from Rey Mysterio, which I don't think is happening because he's not going to physically be able to do it. I don't care what anyone says. To now, a surprising, at least to me, is Bobby Lashley. And I don't mind Bobby Lashley. I don't know if I like that pairing because we need an odd couple. Let's be honest. If you are a fan or have watched the Mixed Match Challenge, the pairing of Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss, two polar opposites on size, has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So it's working there. Let's do it on the other side and bring him a partner. Either, I think, an awesome idea if it can be worked out. Freaking Neville, man. Could you see that?
Yeah, I just don't think there's anyone you can reasonably partner with him. That works in my eyes. Maybe I'm so focused on the rumors of he's just gonna knock someone out.
Well, that was kind of all us talking.
Okay, that was us. I thought that was like an actual rumor. I didn't know that was just us spitballing. Well, maybe I'm Maybe I'm too like focused on that, or just him defending it by himself. But we know that can't happen. So now, like, yeah, I guess like a Neville would be cool. Someone that would be like opposite. I wouldn't mind seeing, as long as it's not like a full-blown comedy character.
Right. And I'm totally like who I really want is a knocked out cold Elias.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just someone
carried to the ring on Braun Strowman's shoulder, draped over the outside of the apron for Braun to go in and beat the bar and win the tag titles, put them both over the shoulder and drag Elias out. Why not?
It still works for me.
And again, as I said, it's something that works where this backfires on Braun when somehow he's made to tag his partner that he's knocked out, and then he loses, and Braun still looks strong because he caused his partner to be knocked out. Elias doesn't look weak because he's been getting the shit beat out of him by his own tag team partner, and now they just lost the titles because Braun somehow got tagged out, distracted, and his partner that he knocked out takes the pinfall. It all makes sense. We should just book this shit.
100%. Let's book it. Let's do it, guys. Just make this happen. It's the best case
scenario. I'm going to pull out the phone and make the call to Vinnie Mac right now.
As far as Bobby Lashley, yeah. I'm like, can you be like, here's my thing with Bobby Lashley being his partner. Can you feel like, oh, that's cool, but also like, at the same time? Because I'm like, oh, cool, Bobby Lashley, but like, to him being his partner.
Yeah, and I'm literally on the same page with you, because, yeah, you can.
I want Bobby Lashley to win the Andre Battle Royal.
Yeah, I think that's a better spot for him, or even just a run-in in the Andre Battle Royal. I'm okay with him coming out the Raw after Mania, and maybe if Brock is still sticking around for a while, that's another one of the rumors. Let's do that. I'm all for that. I'd like to see those two behemoths beat the living dog shit out of each other. Why not? I mean, if we're going to have Brock for a few more dates, let's use him, you know?
Might as well. Let's get some pushes or some wins out of him.
Yeah, absolutely. So that covers just about everything I had to talk about, man. You got anything on your plate that we missed or that you heard that I wasn't aware of? Because I think we knocked this one out of the park with the cleanup hits, right?
I'm running through the mental checklist. It looks good.
What's cracking in the New Japan world, Mike? You're our resident New Japan guy. Is there anything that we need to really talk about besides the Golden Lovers and Bullet Club? And the Bullet Club is fine, and they're not really?
Man, there's a tournament. I haven't had time to keep up with it, to be honest with you, lately. I've in the process of buying a house and doing work on that. And, the other various things. I got other people I know that are buying houses, and I'm helping them with their houses.
And all the other wrestling that you have to watch for our channels.
I know the big story right now is they're having a tournament. I can't remember which tournament it is. It's not the G1 or anything like that. This is one of the lesser tournaments. Not a lot of big names in it, but some. Zack Sabre tapped out Naito. So that's a pretty big deal. Sabre
that is a pretty big deal.
Has also said that he wants Okada.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just not a huge Zack. I don't know.
I'm in that boat with you, man, and I'm paddling.
He could just live next door to you.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but that bothers the shit out of me.
And he may or may not have cut your grass when he was like 12.
Yeah, might still be cutting my grass.
Yeah.
Because he is still, in fact, 12. No disrespect.
Well, there's that.
I hate that I just said that, because the dude is really a good worker. It's
just not your cup of tea.
When he's in New Japan, he's not my cup of tea. Which is weird. Like, anywhere else, I'm like, oh, Zack Sabre Jr., sweet. But in New Japan, I don't know why.
Well, I mean, it's fair.
It is what it is.
It's fair, and it is what it is. I mean,
it is what
it's not like he can't. I mean, he's good. It's just like for me, it's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I'm the same. Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. I get you. I do like Zack Sabre when he is working the mat. He's a good submission specialist. I'll give him that. But to each their own. To each their own. That's all.
To each their own. That's all you got. That's all I got, guys. This show is gonna get this. We're gonna go through some changes here. Mike is currently the unofficial official co-host, and post WrestleMania we're gonna do a little change. We're gonna do a little format change. But he will be the official co-host, and we'll keep the name similar. We won't change that up because we don't want to lose any steam that we have, which in my opinion might not be much, but any steam we have is good steam. So we're gonna keep it rolling, but we're gonna do some steam. We're gonna keep it rolling. We're gonna push forward, and obviously welcome to you, Mike. It's been awesome having you sporadically when we did, and then concurrently for the last 2-3 weeks. It's been an awesome talk. I think we've done some of our best work, so I'm looking forward to continuing this show as a two-man show and just trying to be a little bit informative, a little bit opinionated, and slightly entertaining. I think that's a good goal to shoot for. At least one chuckle per show, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I said the word chuckle. It can't get much better than that. Chuckle. But guys, I think that wraps it up. I say it every week. It's been real. It's been fun. We'll catch you next time.
Later, cousins.
This week marked the 2-year anniversary of the official in-ring retirement of everybody's favorite underdog, Daniel Bryan. Holy shit, he's getting back in the ring. I feel like his character is in a really odd spot right now. I'm sure that our resident SmackDown reviewer would agree with me. We have actually talked on this show, Mike, back and forth about what does this mean? What does that mean? Is he coming back? Are they clearing him? We're both in agreement that the man wants to wrestle and will wrestle again. We're both in agreement that he wants to wrestle in a WWE ring. That's where his wife works, even if she's not currently working. Like, that's her company. She's not going to go work somewhere else to wrestle. It's just not going to happen. See it? I don't
Why
get it.
Why would you want to go to Ring of Honor for $2,000 a night?
I think that if someone puts their hands on him, it will be the biggest moment other than him stepping back in the ring.
The storyline with him and Shane is very clearly headed to some kind of like physical showdown.
Who would be the right guy? I mean, AJ would be the right guy.
Yeah, and you're just, I don't know if you can work that in. Maybe you can. Sure you can. Why not? It's wrestling. That's another way that this could all shake out. I mean, if he gets back in the ring, him versus AJ. Ooh.
How amazing would that be?
I don't want to think about it.
I want him to be healthy. That's the most important thing. This is a human being who has a daughter, who has a wife. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, same thing. We've discussed this before. I'm not even sure I want him to come back. You know? And they say, like, look, you're good. We'll test you after a certain amount of matches, but you're good. You can go. This doctor clears you. Go for it.
I feel like I'm okay with it if Bree's okay with it.
Holy shit, he's getting back in the ring.
If Bree is okay with it, and I mean like okay with it, you know what I mean? Not like he's gonna do this whether I'm okay with it or not, so I'm just gonna tell him I'm okay with it. But like she's like okay with it, yeah, then I'm okay with it. Sure. I mean, who the hell am I? I'm just some guy.
Who are we to disagree with his wife?
I'm just some guy. She's his wife.
Yeah.
And if she's okay with it, and I feel like she's the type of wife that would like, if she wasn't okay with it, she'd be vocal. Like, vocal.
I think that if someone puts their hands on him, it will be the biggest moment because I think at that point everyone would know.
Holy shit. He's getting back in the ring.